I never thought I'd find myself standing in my mom's bedroom, cheeks burning like I'd stuck my hand in an open flame, asking for something so personal. "Mom, can you help me pick out panties?" My voice cracked halfway through the sentence, and I instantly regretted opening my mouth. I could feel my heart hammering against my ribcage, threatening to escape. Her eyes widened. For a moment, it was silent. A long, heavy silence that made me want to disappear into the floor. "Panties, for a party?" she asked, a mixture of curiosity and amusement in her tone. I nodded, my hands twisting nervously. "Yeah, it's, the theme." I hated how embarrassed I felt. I'm a guy, or at least that's what everyone calls me, but the thought of wearing something delicate and feminine for this party had been gnawing at me for weeks. I'd bought some online before, secretly, but the idea of having my mom help me, that felt like walking naked into the center of a crowded room. And yet, here I was. Mom gave me a small smile, one that was half amused and half concerned. "All right, let's see what we have." She gestured me toward her dresser. The moment my fingers brushed the soft, silky fabrics, a strange thrill ran through me. My stomach did a little flip, and I felt alive in a way I hadn't before. The material felt foreign yet comforting. I picked up a lacy, pastel pair, holding it against myself, and immediately imagined how it might feel: snug, delicate, intimate. I swallowed hard. My face felt hotter. "Do you think this would work?" I asked, my voice barely above a whisper. Mom didn't flinch. She simply tilted her head, studying me like she'd known all along. "It could," she said gently. And that tiny bit of validation, just her saying it wasn't weird, made my chest expand with a mix of relief and excitement. I could hardly contain the fluttering in my stomach. My mom handed me a few more options, each one more daring than the last: lace, satin, pastel pinks, and even a cheeky little black set. I held them up against myself, imagining the eyes of everyone at the party. My pulse raced, a mix of nervousness and anticipation. Could I really pull this off? Could I really let this side of me show, even just for one night? The more I looked at myself in the mirror, panties clutched in my hands, the more I realized I wanted this. The next morning, I couldn't look at myself the same way. Every step toward the kitchen felt heavier, like the world knew a secret I hadn't told anyone. My mom made breakfast, humming softly, and I pretended everything was normal. But it wasn't. I was different. I could feel it in the way my jeans rubbed against my thighs, in the way my hands lingered a little longer when brushing against the soft fabrics I'd hidden in my backpack. At school, it was impossible to focus. Every glance in the hallway felt like it was magnified 100 times. I caught myself fidgeting, adjusting my jeans, imagining the silky fabric beneath, imagining how it would feel to finally wear it, just for the night. My friends noticed, of course. "You're distracted today," one of them said, nudging me playfully. I forced a laugh, but inside, panic and excitement battled violently. By lunchtime, I couldn't wait any longer. I snuck into the bathroom, clutching the small bag I'd stashed in my locker. As soon as the door clicked behind me, I tore it open and pulled out my new secret. My hands shook. The panties were soft, silky, almost alive in my fingers. I slid them on carefully, marveling at the sensation. It was electric. My thighs tingled, my chest warmed, and for the first time, I understood why people said clothes could change more than your appearance. They could change your entire mood, your entire self. I stared at myself in the mirror. The reflection wasn't fully me. Not yet. But it was the first step. My heartbeat echoed in my ears, a thrilling mix of fear and anticipation. I can do this," I whispered to myself. Over the next week, I became a master of secrecy. My room turned into a small sanctuary of exploration. I experimented with different panties, pairing them with oversized sweaters, tight jeans, even trying a subtle hint of eyeliner just to see the effect. Every morning, I'd look at my reflection, tracing the lines of the fabric against my skin, imagining how I might transform completely for the party. The thrill wasn't just in wearing the clothes, it was in discovering me. The soft lace against my skin was comforting and exhilarating at the same time. My hands lingered on the silky textures, feeling a connection to this version of myself that I'd been ignoring for years. Each day, I grew bolder, experimenting with colors and patterns, teasing out a side of myself that I had buried under fear and societal expectations. One evening, I even tried on a full outfit in secret, a tight skirt, a soft blouse, and my favorite panties beneath. I stood in front of the mirror for what felt like hours, admiring the transformation. My hair fell in soft waves around my shoulders, makeup enhancing features I hadn't realized could look so delicate, so beautiful. I twirled slowly, feeling light, powerful, and terrifyingly exposed all at once. The weekend came, and with it, my first real test, going out in public. My heart raced as I dressed, carefully choosing the outfit that made me feel the most me. The panties were perfect, snug, and hidden, a secret thrill that only I knew about. I walked to the party, each step a mixture of excitement and anxiety, rehearsing conversations, practicing laughs, imagining how I'd react if anyone noticed. At first, the world felt sharp, cruel. Strangers' eyes lingered just a moment too long, whispers brushed past my ears. Panic threatened to take over. But then, it happened. A compliment. Someone at the party, a friend of a friend, smiled and said, "You look amazing tonight." My chest lifted. My shoulders straightened. The fear melted, replaced with a surge of confidence so powerful it made me dizzy. I danced, laughed, and moved through the crowd, the silken lace against my skin a constant, thrilling reminder of my secret power. Every smile, every compliment, every fleeting glance of approval built me up, reshaping the way I saw myself. I wasn't just a boy wearing panties. I was me, unafraid, unashamed, alive. Then came the moment of reckoning. A close friend, someone I trusted, accidentally discovered my secret. Their eyes widened as they took in the carefully chosen outfit, the delicate panties, the full transformation I had poured myself into. My stomach plummeted. Oh God, what if everyone finds out? I thought, frozen. But instead of laughter or judgment, there was awe. "You look incredible," they said softly. "I had no idea you felt like this, but you look happy. And you should be." That tiny, understanding acknowledgement shattered my fears. I realized then that embracing this side of me wasn't weakness, it was courage. The party became a turning point. I no longer hid in shadows or secret rooms. I moved openly, confidently, the thrill of the lace and silk beneath me a constant reminder that I was allowed to exist in this form. By the end of the night, something inside me had shifted. The embarrassment, the fear, the self-doubt, they all melted into exhilaration and empowerment. I danced until my feet ached, laughed until my cheeks hurt, and finally, I looked in the mirror at the party venue and truly saw myself. A confident, bold, unapologetic version of me that I had been too scared to reveal before. The next morning, I didn't rush to hide my outfit. I didn't feel shame. I looked in the mirror, traced the lines of the lace, ran my hands over the silky fabric, and smiled. Mom's words echoed in my mind, "It could." She had seen me, really seen me, before I even dared to. And now, I could see myself too. I realized something powerful that day. The right outfit, the right fabric, the right moment. They didn't just transform appearances. They transformed me. They gave me permission to explore, to express, to be. And for the first time, I wasn't just existing, I was thriving. Wearing panties for a party might seem trivial to some, but for me, it was a declaration. A small, intimate, yet profound step toward authenticity, toward freedom, toward joy. And in that silken lace, I found something more valuable than any secret thrill. I found myself. Sometimes, courage comes in the softest forms, the delicate, the feminine, the things we're told to hide. And sometimes, it takes a little help from someone who believes in us, even if it's just your mom, to finally take that step. I've learned that night, through trembling hands and racing heartbeats, that self-discovery doesn't have to be loud or dramatic. Sometimes, it's quiet, intimate, and wrapped in silk. And the moment you embrace it, the world opens up, and you realize there's nothing more beautiful than being unapologetically you. After that night at the party, I thought I knew what freedom felt like. I thought wearing panties and finally embracing that hidden side of me would be the climax of my journey. But I quickly realized, it was just the beginning. The days after the party were different. Every morning, getting dressed felt like stepping onto a stage. I had discovered a side of myself that craved expression, a side that longed to experiment with more than just silk and lace. I started layering my outfits differently, pairing skirts with oversized sweaters, experimenting with tights, even subtle accessories. The thrill wasn't just in being secretive anymore, it was in imagining the possibilities. I remember one morning vividly. I was standing in front of my mirror, slipping on a pair of soft, pastel panties Mom had helped me pick, when I froze. My reflection stared back at me, my face framed by softly curled hair, cheeks flushed, eyes sparkling with anticipation. My hands trembled slightly as I traced the edge of the fabric. I can't believe how much I like this, I whispered to myself. My voice was barely audible, yet it sounded intimate, almost sacred. I felt exposed, yet alive. At school, the challenge shifted. Before, it had been about sneaking in my secret. Now, it was about controlling the thrill while staying safe. I would occasionally catch glimpses of myself in reflective surfaces, a locker mirror, a shop window, and my heart would leap. That tiny thrill of seeing the lace peeking subtly beneath my jeans, feeling it hug me, was addicting. But it was also terrifying. What if someone noticed? What if someone told my friends? One afternoon, my friend Alex, someone I trusted, asked to borrow my notes. I handed them over, and as he left, he gave me that smile again, the same one from the party. My chest tightened. "Do you look happy?" he asked casually, oblivious to how loaded his question felt. I froze for a split second before nodding.
"Yeah, I
am," I said, trying to sound casual, but my cheeks burned. Inside, my heart was screaming. Could he tell? Could he see the change in me? That night, I went home and locked myself in my room. I took out the entire small collection Mom had helped me build, soft fabrics, delicate patterns, pastel colors, and daring blacks, and spread them across my bed. My fingers ran over each piece, memorizing textures, imagining how each would feel against my skin. I started combining them with outfits in ways I hadn't dared before. Laces with skirts, satin with tight jeans, even experimenting with subtle makeup. Each combination was a revelation, a small thrill that made my heartbeat accelerate and my cheeks flush.